Hi, hello, welcome to another video. This video is a little vlog type video about how my January went as a freelance illustrator and graphic designer. I talk a bit about my plans for the year, my goals, how I stay organized, and I do some sketchbooking, so if that sounds interesting, stick around. So something that's really important for me as a freelance illustrator / graphic designer is how I manage my time. I'm essentially my own boss and I need to keep track of all my own tasks, my deadlines, what work I have to do, when I need to get it finished by, and how I plan my day basically. This year I decided to go for Redo Paper's agenda. I've used them in the past. I really love the structure. It's also fully recycled and sustainable. They're a Belgian business. And then I also have this really beautiful calendar from my artist space in Brussels. I'll put their ad on the screen. Last year I was using an online calendar task planning app called Structured. I still think it's super helpful, but I think this year I want to be writing down instead of on my phone because that feels like just another thing to have on my phone. But if you are someone who needs to manage your time better or are a freelance as well, I can really suggest this app. It lets you plan your whole day. I'm someone who can suddenly realize it's 3 p.m. and like, what did I do today? And how did I waste all that time? And how did it just fly by? So seeing the hours of the day and what I'm actually doing in every hour also cuts out a bunch of time that is wasted, like on my phone. So this app really helped with that. After cleaning and setting up my planners, the next thing I had to do was go through all my emails, check my tasks, see what clients I'm working on and what the next steps are for those projects. I use Milanote for most of my planning. I think it's super helpful. You can drop a bunch of images in, a bunch of notes. It's like a big mind map. Each project can have its own board, and then I also have a home page with my general to-dos. So this is another app that I discovered last year that will definitely be following me into 2025 because it's been super helpful and I really love using it. I decided to visit the Moleskine store and I bought myself a second agenda. This one isn't for any planning or to-do lists or tasks, but rather I want to do a daily drawing. I decided for myself I might call it a daily scribble to take the pressure off because the idea is not that I make an amazing piece every single day, but more get into the habit of using my hands or drawing or jotting things down. I often find I'm a little bit too busy to find time in my day to put in a session in my sketchbook. So this feels like a sort of mandatory pause, taking a moment, making sure that I've drawn that day. I think it'll build up a good habit. My sister will also be joining me, so I think we'll be able to keep each other motivated and send each other the spreads, which would be really fun. I'm also not going to beat myself up if I miss a day or two. Life can get really hectic, but I'm hoping that I can at least dedicate 10 to 15 minutes per day, if not less, if not something more. My idea is also to focus a bit less figurative and a bit more abstract, focusing on colors, lines, mark making. There's no right or wrong answer. Whatever art I make is the art that I make of that day. If I don't like it, I have the next day to try it again, or I have the next day to figure out what I did wrong that day and maybe improve it. I think it'll also allow me to just make bad art, move on, it's done. These are all the goals and wishes, but I will be flipping through how far I get into January until this video gets posted. So if you want to see a little flip through, you can wait till the end. And I'll also talk a little bit more about how it actually went and if it is working so far. I hope so. Let's see. I like the idea of it also being inspired a little bit by the day. So this picture of water outside my window, I took this exact day on January 2nd, and I decided to use that as the inspiration. I did do 2 pages because I missed the 1st of January. This was on the 2nd of January, but I'm pretty excited to see how it goes. I started a new sketchbook just at the end of 2024, which means I really want to finish this sketchbook. So I'm going to be filling in the next couple of spreads. I started the sketchbook in March of 2024, and I just feel like something new. I feel like moving on. So while I fill in these spreads, I thought I could talk about my goals for 2025. Most of them are art related, but some of them are also related to being a freelance artist and working from home and how to change my habits to essentially live a little bit better. I never really used to be someone who did New Year's goals or New Year's resolutions. I just did some thinking about what I wanted my art to look like in the next year. But for the last 2 years, I decided to make a little bit more of goals. I don't have to achieve them. I do this bingo card format, so it's very relaxed. I don't think I'll achieve all of them, but anything that I don't achieve this year, then I can move that on to next year. I take a little bit of a relaxed viewpoint on it because I don't want to stress myself out. Anyway, here are my goals for 2025. I won't go over every single one, but you can read through if you want. A lot of them are related to the fact that I'm moving this year, which I'm very excited about. I currently live in Toulouse in the south of France, and I'm moving back to Antwerp with my partner this time. And I'm just very excited for building a new life there. So that's why a lot of these goals are also orientated of what I didn't really like about how my living situation looked like in 2024 and what I want to improve that on in 2025. Some of those things include making new friends, going on solo dates, so taking myself out and doing more things independently because that scares me, but I also need to leave the house more often. I also want to join more exercise classes because I am behind my desk most hours of the day and it's not really healthy. So I want to try get more into exercise classes, which I've never done in my whole life. I also am hoping to find a really cute new house and throw a housewarming. I want to attend more art events, and also art markets would be great. And other health-focused things, I want to make sure I'm taking my vitamins. I'm vegan, so I need to get supplements, and I'm not really good at taking them. So here's hoping I'm better in 2025. I also want to learn new recipes and plan and prep meals because cooking is a bit of a chore for me, and I want to try and make it a bit more fun and also eat a bit more healthy. And then for the more art-related goals, I really hope to try out ceramics this year. I'm really excited for it. I think I will do it. I already know which studio I'm going to work at. I have already done the research. I just need to move cities first. I would also like to work on more large-scale art pieces. I already started that in 2024. I made paintings for the first time on canvases. I made my own canvases, but I would definitely want to do more of those. I also try out tufting, but tufting is really expensive to get into, so maybe I just will do a tufting workshop. I also want to aim for 2 new videos every month for YouTube, which is going to be a feat because videos take quite a long time to make and edit, but I've been really enjoying YouTube so far and I have a lot of really fun ideas for videos this year, so I'm excited about it. Besides that, I'm obviously just excited to make more art, explore more, try new things. Last year I really tried a lot of new things, but I want to continue on that trend and really find what art makes the most sense for me. And here I am working on the last spread of my sketchbook, which means the sketchbook is officially finished. My next video will be a sketchbook tour, so if this looks interesting and you want to see more from the sketchbook, then keep an eye out for that. I really love how a lot of the spreads in the sketchbook turned out, and I really like to see how my art developed, and I'm excited to start a new one. Starting my year off strong with my movement goal, I'm trying to leave the house more, and I live a bit out of the center, so it's kind of hard to get places without a car or public transport. But I do have a really nice forest near my house, so I decided when it's sun shining, I should just go for a walk, and it makes me feel so much better. Also, as an artist, I feel like I'm immediately inspired whenever I leave the house, whether that's seeing some people or seeing aspects of nature. I think I just lose my creativity and inspiration as I'm sitting behind a desk for many, many hours. Obviously, there's Pinterest and scrolling, but sometimes I just want to be inspired by everyday life and actual things and not just pictures online. Besides it also being good for inspiration and creativity, it also just makes me feel so much better. I love being outside, I love nature, I love sunshine, and it's also just healthy to get my body moving, and I really need to leave the house more. Obviously this is really hard in the middle of January in winter, but I'm gonna try my best, and I think it'll almost always be worth it. Today is Tuesday, the 21st of January, so I'm coming with an update on how far I got in my daily scribble sketchbook. I forgot to mention, but this idea I first saw by an artist on Instagram called Soup and Sketch. I saw it around mid-January last year and realized I was too late to do it, but I definitely wanted to try it for this year. For the month overview pages, I decided to include a small little snippet of the days in each of the little boxes, which I think will turn out really cute by the end of the month. There are a lot of pages before we get to the first page of the daily layout, which I don't know what to do with yet. I don't really want to fill them with art, because I would like the art to start on the 1st of January. I've seen a lot of artists doing this with hobonichis, and I checked them and they're so expensive. So I decided I could just do it with any agenda. My original plan was to get a agenda from 2024 because the dates actually don't matter, and that way I would save an agenda from going to waste. but I couldn't find any and I was running out of time, so I had to get one new, unfortunately. I decided Moleskine makes the most sense for me because I had a store nearby my house. My initial worry was that the Moleskine's papers are really thin, so I wasn't sure how it was going to hold up different media, and I was pretty worried about bleeding through onto next pages. But since I wanted a scribbly, messy vibe anyway, and I don't want to feel like this needs to be perfect, I think that thinner pages sort of helps in my favor because it stops me from being able to make it perfect. Bleeding also wasn't too bad on most of the pages. If it did bleed through kind of badly, then I would stick in a new paper or choose a media to try and cover over the bleeding, so it didn't bother me that much in the end. I'm also happy to report I didn't miss a single day, which I'm very proud of. I wonder how it'll look when I go on vacation or if I have a suddenly very busy period. But for now, I'm doing well. I'm enjoying it. I look forward to doing it every day. I'll probably continue showing the progress of the sketchbook in other videos coming up. But that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Thanks for making it to the end, and have a great day.